So, how close are we to a deal with China? Let's bring in our trade expert, Curtis Ellis. He's also a senior policy advisor for America First Policies. Great to see you, Curtis.
Hey, it's great to be here.
All right,
well,
Curtis,
as the president said,
I was going to say, how close are we to that deal?
Yeah, well, as the president said, we're very close. And as he also said, any deal will include addressing the fundamental issues: China's intellectual property theft, its cyber espionage, its forced technology transfers, and its subsidies of state-owned industries. So those are the, you might say, hurdles that remain. Those are the essential elements of a deal that will have to be included, along with enforcement, verification, and penalties if they don't live up to their end of the bargain, as they've been known to do for decades.
Curtis, how do we enforce what I think is the most egregious violation on the part of China when you contrast it against all others, and that's intellectual property theft? Watched a video on YouTube the other day, a recruitment video for the Chinese Air Force, and it looked like a commercial for Grumman, McDonnell Douglas, Boeing, Airbus. I mean, all the aircraft look like ours and Europe's. I mean, clearly they stole the designs, they stole classified information, intellectual property. That's the backbone of their military and their technology. How do we enforce that?
Well, that's exactly right. Look, let's be honest. For decades, we gave it to them. We had scientific and technological exchanges. We were providing them military assistance and military intelligence assistance, as well as our designs. That is stopped. Now, it's not hard to verify. We know when they're hacking our companies. We know when they're hacking into our computer systems. A lot of this is not announced publicly because it's classified information. Right. We don't want to reveal our sources and methods. But what's changed, thanks to President Trump, is finally corporations are not afraid to speak out. They had been, the multinational corporations that have been invested up to their eyeballs in China are coerced by Beijing to support Beijing's policies and not complain when Beijing puts the thumbscrews to them, or perhaps the better metaphor would be puts bamboo shoots under their fingernails. Oh, yeah. But now they are speaking out. And you hear even the multinational corporations insisting that the deal that comes out of these talks must address the fundamental predatory practices that China engages in on a regular basis. So they will now, these companies will speak up when they're being abused by China, and it's not going to be hard to verify.
What can we do, though, in terms of enforcement? I've heard solutions, things like designating Chinese banks under the Patriot Act, locking up funds. Do those kinds of enforcement tactics work? And what else would you add to that?
Yes, and we could see sanctions against some of the bad actors that are involved in the concentration camps in Western China. We could see pulling student visas. These are the children of the top-level Chinese party officials. If their kids can't go to Harvard anymore, or even Ohio State University for that matter, they're not going to be happy. Right now, we've got thousands, tens of thousands of Chinese students coming to America, going into high-tech research, often being tapped to work on research projects for the Pentagon. That's got to stop. Right. There's a whole host of things. Everywhere you turn, you find some Chinese penetration into our system. That's an opportunity for us to squeeze them.
Curtis, let me ask you about that, though. Why are we allowing that? Why are we allowing Chinese students, grad students, into our tech companies when they're almost certainly, look, it's a communist country, their families are over there, the government, Chinese intelligence agencies have a lot of leverage over these people. They're almost certainly feeding that information back east. Why are we allowing it in the first place? We know the inevitable end result.
Well, that's right. Look, so much in Washington and in all of the elite circles is on autopilot. And these people are still, the people in charge are still behaving as if China's our friend, China's going to become our ally, China's going to become just like us, a democratic free market system. Thanks to President Trump, people have woken up to what China is. It's an enemy, it's an adversary, it's out to displace the United States, and now there's got to be a little catch-up in reality where our universities, our other institutions start to treat China for what everybody now recognizes it is. They're still behaving, they're still acting as if it's 20 years ago and everybody thought China was just a wonderful partner in worldwide development.
All right, and what does this mean for the relationship with North Korea? Is there a fortunate byproduct of this deal that could see China leverage North Korea to our, well, I shouldn't say to our will, but at least help us a little bit at strong-arming Kim?
That's a very good point. You see, because for the past 20, 30 years, China has played us, where the Washington policymakers were saying, well, we can't confront China on trade because we need their help with North Korea. And what President Trump has done is he's flipped the script. And now he's going in to meet with the head of North Korea. And if Kim doesn't come around and start behaving better, President Trump's going to hold China responsible for that and say, well, why should I cut any deal with you on trade? You're not helping us on North Korea. He's totally turned the tables on this. It's a very clever move.
Yeah, and I remember, look, that's no secret. I remember years back when George W. Bush was caught on a hot mic with Tony Blair talking about North Korea, saying, well, China's got to tell him to stop the, a word I can't say on television. But we've known about this. It seems like Trump is the only one that's actually used it as leverage.
That's right. No president has been tougher on trade and on China than President Trump. No president since Ronald Reagan has been as tough on trade, and no president has confronted China the way President Trump has. And he has flipped the script and turned the tables on their manipulation of North Korea and other geopolitical issues to their benefit. He's now turned it to our benefit. It's really a masterful display to watch.
Curtis Ellis, trade expert with America First Policies. Curtis, always great to see you. Thanks for the insights.
Thank you.